Okay, new stream. All right, everybody knows the drill. Talking about my materials. First thing, what I'm working on a set of dragon princess sketches. So this one, I've already done the hair dragon. So if you want to see what this is going to end up looking like, go to my YouTube channel, go to my Twitter. I've posted it there. I have the videos, the drawing videos for the air dragon on YouTube. So check out my info down there somewhere, and yeah, check that out. That's overall the style that this is going to be, and I'm working on 2 others after this one that are going to be a water and earth dragons. So I'll adjust this a little bit. Okay. So all right, so what I'm working on here is I was working on the talons yesterday. So hold on a second. I'm getting everything ready. I have my cats here, and they are getting into a little bit of stuff. Sometimes I have to, placate the kittens. Okay, so let's get to drawing. Hey, Gurr and Kitty. Alright, so, like I was saying yesterday, how my process goes is just get some concept in my mind to get the elements together, and I start on a couple of main features like this that I want to be the center of attention and build everything else around it. And I generally work from upper left to lower right, and I've gotten to a point where the main pieces and the main components are all ready to kind of be finished. I kind of build it kind of globally, so that way everything stays balanced. So right now, I will go back to the upper portion here because I want to make sure to finish that segment of the drawing. And as I draw, I want to make sure everything flows. So sometimes you get some kind of overlap, like I'm getting this curve here that's going to continue on the other side of the swirl. and make sure that everything is just nice and smooth and gentle, especially because the topic this time is a water dragon, so you want to make sure that everything flows like water would. And because this is, a lot of the motifs are taken from the Japanese mythology, Asian mythology, Japanese and Chinese mythology. The dragons are very close as far as the mythology is concerned, as far as the structure, as far as the overall aesthetic. The dragons are very, very similar between Japan and China. I'm not going to go into it because I think that both of them are beautiful. My own personal feeling is I like the Japanese just because I've studied it more. But the main point is it's different than the Western European form of dragons, which are more based on like lizards, and Asian, the Chinese and Japanese, are more influenced by like koi fish. Factors into their mythology a lot more than lizards do. So there's kind of a fundamental difference between the Asian dragons and the Western dragons, like you'd see in Game of Thrones or Dragonheart. How to Train Your Dragon, Frozen, you know. Yeah, I was having a problem earlier. One of the things I'm doing when I pause right now is I check, because I've been having some problem with the crosstalk with my stream, and part of the problem was that it was feeding back from the stream itself to the OBS. And my heater just came on, so hold on a second. Let me cancel that noise. Alright, so back to the drawing. Back to the drawing board. Okay, so what I'm working on right now is these swirls that go around her, and they're going to be both physical and, well, water is physical, but they're going to be physical in the sense of, you know, some kind of physical element like a koi body, or her mane, something like that. And water. I want to make sure that everything stays flowing, and create an interesting movement throughout the piece. And what I have right here is, generally when I'm doing composition, I like to have boundaries established to make sure that when I finish it, the focus stays where I want it instead of just going all over the page. And, you know, sometimes when you're working on a piece, you start out here, and then as you start to build it up, and you get all over the page, and all of a sudden you realize that the focus is not where you would like it to be. So I'm going to erase these guidelines. And my heater, okay, finally just went off. Doesn't help that my desk is actually sitting on the opposite side of the wall where my heater is. Alright, so I'm going to, right now, just erase key parts of that. So that way, as I work on the final, I don't have to worry about erasing around it. Right here. Right now I'm still establishing the swirls of the water and the hair, and you're going to get the fluke here. But if these crosses of swirls remind you of anything, it may be because as a tattoo artist, I used to focus on your zoomy style of tattooing with a lot of the Japanese motifs of dragons and koi, and so so the swirls kind of evoke that traditional flavor of Japanese art. And even though I've defined the boundaries of my piece, I do like to kind of go above it a little bit so that it doesn't look like I'm hesitating as I get close to the edge of where I would like the artwork to stop. It's almost what it is really is the same as when you're printing a book and they talk about bleeds and they talk about, you know, full bleed. So for me, the bleeds are going to be, you know, 1/4 inch or so, a centimeter. And so what that does is when you do the shading, you can go strong without having to worry about a boundary. And the same with the elements, the curves. So what I like to do is I like to just put the little crosshairs to kind of indicate, yeah, that's the boundary. And then I can just have kind of a visual, just almost like a guideline or a reminder. For those of you that are checking this out on YouTube, I've been posting these on YouTube. If this is the first time you've seen these drawing videos, then go to Twitch. Check out in the info my Twitch channel, which is Pinky Racer. And if you like what you see, then go ahead and follow me on Twitch. check out my Twitter and Instagram and follow me there. I give notifications as well as posting full finished copies of whatever I'm working on. So if you like what you see, go and check out the whole thing on Twitter and keep updated as far as when I'm going to stream. I typically stream about this time when I do stream. It's been a little spotty because I've been working on a new working in a new position, and so my schedule is a little bit messed up, but I'm working on it, and I will be more consistent in the future. My cat is being intent on walking across my computer. Widow, why are you gonna sit down here? Sit. She's decided she wants to pay incredibly close attention to my computer. And of course, since she's my baby, I can't say no to her. Come here, little Midge. Hey, Midge. She just wants to be on camera. Come here, Midge. Come down here and sit. Don't mess with my microphone. She wants to nuzzle everything. I think she can nuzzle everything. Come here, baby. All right. All right, so one of the things that's important about whenever you're working on a major piece like this is to have it, whenever you add something or edit something, you always want to take a look at it and adjust it to make sure that when you're drawing it upside down, you want to step back, make sure that everything is looking the way that you would like it to. want to make sure all the curves line up properly so that it doesn't look like disjointed, completely disjointed. I like having all the overlap between the swirls of water and the, just constant movement. Alright. So, this is how you sharpen a 2mm pencil. Instead of sticking in a pencil sharpener, you just stick it in a lead sharpener. Special, just goes around. There you go. One of the big reasons why I prefer a lead holder over wood encased pencil. I like that right there. I was able to sharpen it without destroying any wood. As you can see, I'm going over an area that I went over previously because there's a lot of shadow and tone in there. And you lose really all the clarity. And what happens is, as you draw, the point wears down. So you get thicker and thicker lines to the point where, this is a much thicker line than I'm making. I'll show you an example. You have a thicker line here, and then if I want to continue this over, you can see a much finer line next to it. What I'm trying to create here is you get swirls of water and also swirls of her mane, and I want to kind of create a ambiguity, yeah, make it so that you're not really sure what's water and what is mane. Just have a lot of swirling, a lot of movement. A lot of times people, when they draw, will just make a line with the pencil. But for me, sketching it and building it up, I try not to just make one solid line, just because it can be a little wiggly. It can not go exactly where I'd like. And so starting out light and building it up allows me to refine it and make sure that it looks the way I like it to. And by doing it lighter, I can erase it if necessary. I realize that I've been working on this for the last bunch of streams, this and the air water dragon, and so one of the next couple of streams I'm going to go back and do another chibi, and also my manga. I have a couple of manga I'm working on, but one of them that I've been working on stream has been Japanese ghost stories. And so I'll be working on that on one of the future streams, just to give a little bit of a variety. I do a lot of different art things, and so one of them is just having fun with chibis. I use Copic sketch markers with that, and also a couple of manga that I'm working on. Right now I'm working on 3 different manga. One of them is a web manga, and kind of a cyberpunk web manga. Has nothing to do with the game that's coming out, but yeah, so if you're interested, go to my Patreon, which is in my info, and you can find it there, my web manga. Read it for free. It's on the webtoons, and the Duck webcomics. Okay, so I got this looking the way I'd like it to. Doesn't have to be too dark. Can make it darker later if I want to. What you doing, Midge? Finally settling down. I have a special chair for her right there next to me, so she can settle down. So she's not climbing all over my computer. When I scratch her back, right in front of her tail, she just like licks whatever's in front of her. So Right now I get her licking her blanket. And now I have cat fur all over my hand, which is going to get into my kneaded eraser. So, alright, that's looking pretty good. I need to freshen this up a little bit. It's a little dark. And I forgot to bring my drink. I'm so thirsty. Been out all day and it's getting warmer out. It's been like in the 30s and 40s. And then today it's almost 60. So, I shall be back in a minute. As soon as I get my drink. I know as soon as I get up, my cat Midgie is going to be jumping up on the computer and pressing all kinds of keys. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so not really happy with this curve here. One of the things when you want to that was weird. One of the things when you're working with a medium like pencil is always double checking to make sure that everything, is the right darkness. and it's very easy to bring it up. And erase it and redo it a little bit if you need to. Like here, I wanted this to follow the flow of the hair, and I accidentally made it follow the flow of the water, and that wouldn't have made sense. And here's where it gets interesting. You start getting this overlap here of the water with the hair, the mane. It kind of enhances the sense of movement. Where you have the overlapping elements. Very gently. Very gently shading. There we go. And then in here, keep it flowing this way. Just keep that feeling of over and under. Between the water and the mane. Get some bubbles in there. And as a drawing like this progresses, I like to kind of make some decisions on the fly as far as adding or adjusting some elements. Hey, look, it's my other cat. Hey, Ryan. I have 2 black cats, and as typical, they're pretty crazy. Hey, Ryan. Look at you. They ignore me all day, and then as soon as I start streaming, they decide they want to walk all over my computer. Right now, he is trying to figure out how to get from behind my computer to onto my lap. What are you doing? What you doing? He's over there messing with some stuff. Gotta love cats. Really? You want to mess with everything? I was trying to pull the camera USB cord out. Alright, moving right along. Hey, right. My cat Runt, I rescued him one time. I was working as a overnight, and I had come out for lunch, and I heard on one of the cars in the parking lot, oh meow. It's a real super high-pitched little squeak, and he was sitting. It was a very cold December night, and he was trying to get warm, sitting next to somebody's tailpipe on the frame of their truck, and he was just such a tiny thing. I mean, it looked like he hadn't been weaned or anything, and he just looked like he was, probably going to be a very, very small, and so I named him Runt. And he grew to about 15 pounds. I mean, a big, solid Bombay cat. So, yeah, Moral of the story, be careful what you name your pets, because they might surprise you. I had adopted my other black cat, Nidge. And as it turns out, the shelter had named her Bambi, which does not suit her at all. All right, so this is coming along great. The only thing I'm going to do before I sign off for the day is darken up in here. Create a little bit more depth. A little bit more volume. And up here. Depth here. And that's not all. In a little while, next couple of streams, I will refine this further. I want to adjust this curve. Looked a little flat to me. Just make sure it's smooth and graceful. And I'll do that while my pencil is still sharp to create more of a definition between the two textures, between the hair and the water. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. I'm going to sign off for the day. And if you are watching this after the fact, go ahead and click follow. And if you're watching it during the fact and you're not following, then go ahead and click follow. And if you're watching it on YouTube, then click subscribe if you like it, and go to Twitch if you have a Twitch account, and go follow me there. And I hope to see you next time, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram, which are my handle there is Pink Eraser Draws, not just Pink Eraser. And yeah, I always tweet out ahead of time when I'm going to be streaming, and I also post stuff from the day that I work on, like take a picture of this and post it there, and then yeah, so if you follow me there, then you will you'll see what I'm working on right now, and the other news, other pictures that I'm working on, links to things. So yeah, so just follow me, Pink Eraser Draws, on Instagram and Twitter. Got my YouTube link down there, and so go check out past streams are all there. Twitch only lets me store 2 weeks of them. So if you are watching this and you like it, then go to YouTube, which has all my past streams, and check out everything else. So I will see everybody hopefully tomorrow.